Imagine two classmates sitting in the same classroom in London, New York, or anywhere in the world. They both attend school for 12 years. They both pass exams. They both are told that if they work hard, get good grades, and go to university, everything will be fine financially. Let's call them Daniel and Marcus. Daniel listens carefully in class. He studies mathematics, literature, science, and history. He graduates with good grades. He goes to university. He takes out student loans because that is what everyone tells him to do. He believes that once he gets a degree, money problems will disappear. Marcus also studies hard, but he becomes curious about something nobody explains clearly in school. He wonders why adults complain about money even though they were once top students. He notices that some people who struggled academically are driving expensive cars and owning businesses. He begins to ask questions. After graduation, Daniel gets a decent job. He earns £30,000 or $45,000 a year. He feels proud. Finally, he is making money. He moves into a nice apartment. He finances a car. He subscribes to multiple streaming platforms. He upgrades his phone every year. On paper, he looks successful, but at the end of every month, Daniel is stressed. His salary comes in and disappears quickly. Rent takes a large portion. Taxes take another chunk. Bills, groceries, fuel, subscriptions, loan repayments, and small impulse purchases slowly drain the rest. He tells himself he just needs a higher salary. Meanwhile, Marcus takes a slightly different path. He also works a job, but he pays attention to something school never emphasized: the difference between income and wealth. This is the first truth about money they never teach in school. Income is how much money you earn. Wealth is how much money you keep and grow. Daniel focuses on earning more. Marcus focuses on keeping and multiplying what he earns. Marcus starts small. He tracks his expenses. He notices that many of his purchases are emotional rather than necessary. He reduces unnecessary subscriptions. He cooks more meals at home. He does not do this because he is cheap. He does it because he understands that every pound or dollar saved can become a seed. Instead of upgrading his lifestyle immediately after a salary increase, Marcus increases his investments. That leads to the second truth about money. Money grows when it works for you, not when you work for it. In school, we are taught to prepare for jobs. We're not taught how to make money generate more money. We are trained to become employees, not owners. Marcus begins investing in index funds. He learns about compound interest. He understands that small amounts invested consistently over 10 or 20 years can become life-changing sums. He does not chase quick schemes. He focuses on consistency. Daniel, on the other hand, receives a promotion. His salary increases. He upgrades his apartment. He buys a better car. His expenses rise with his income. He feels richer, but he is not building assets. This is the third truth about money. Lifestyle inflation is the silent thief of wealth. Most people believe earning more money will solve their financial stress. However, if expenses increase at the same pace as income, financial pressure remains constant. The cycle continues. Higher income often leads to higher spending rather than higher investing. Years pass. Daniel is earning much more now, but he still depends entirely on his monthly paycheck. If he loses his job, his lifestyle collapses within months. Marcus has quietly built investments that generate returns. He has dividends coming in. He has assets appreciating. He has an emergency fund covering 6 months of expenses. He sleeps better at night because his survival does not depend solely on his employer. Here is the fourth truth about money. Security does not come from a job. It comes from assets. Schools rarely explain the difference between assets and liabilities in practical terms. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out. Many people buy liabilities thinking they are assets simply because they look impressive. A brand new car that loses value every year is not an asset. A credit card used carelessly is not an asset. Designer clothes bought to impress others are not assets. An investment portfolio, a business, rental property, or a skill that allows you to earn independently are assets. Another lesson school rarely teaches is the psychology of money. Money decisions are emotional before they are logical. Daniel spends to reward himself after stressful weeks. He shops when he feels low. He compares his lifestyle to colleagues and social media influencers. Without realizing it, his spending is tied to validation. Marcus learns to separate emotions from financial decisions. He delays gratification. When he wants something expensive, he waits 30 days before buying. Often, the desire fades. When it does not fade, he ensures the purchase does not harm his long-term goals. That is the fifth truth. Delayed gratification builds financial freedom. We live in a world of instant delivery, instant streaming, and instant approval. However, wealth is built slowly. It rewards patience, discipline, and long-term thinking. There's also the truth about debt. Not all debt is equal. Schools warn about debt, but they do not teach the difference between destructive debt and strategic debt. High-interest consumer debt traps people in cycles of repayment. Strategic debt, used wisely to invest in appreciating assets, can accelerate growth. Daniel accumulates credit card debt during holidays and sales events. Marcus avoids high-interest debt and uses leverage carefully, only when he understands the risks. 10 years later, both men attend a school reunion. Daniel looks successful on the outside. He has a good job title and a nice lifestyle. However, he feels anxious about money. Retirement feels far away and uncertain. Marcus may not have the flashiest lifestyle, but he has options. He could change careers. He could start a business full-time. He could take a break without financial panic. His money gives him freedom. And that leads to perhaps the biggest truth of all. Money is not about luxury. It is about options. Financial freedom does not mean owning private jets. It means having the power to choose. The choice to leave a toxic job. The choice to spend more time with family. The choice to pursue passion without fear of unpaid bills. School taught Daniel how to pass exams. Life forced Marcus to learn how money actually works. The reality is that schools focus on producing competent workers because economies need employees. Financial education is often left to families, personal research, or painful experience. This is why many adults earn good salaries yet feel constantly stressed. The truth about money they never teach in school is simple but powerful. Earning is important, but keeping is crucial. Spending is easy, but investing requires discipline. Status looks good, but assets build freedom. Time is more powerful than timing. Consistency beats intensity. If you're listening to this right now, you still have time. Whether you are 18 or 48, the principles remain the same. Start tracking your expenses. Build an emergency fund. Invest consistently. Increase your financial knowledge. Develop skills that increase your earning power while building assets that grow quietly in the background. Money is not evil, and it is not magical. It is a tool. In the wrong hands, it creates stress. In disciplined hands, it creates freedom. The real education about money begins when school ends. And once you understand these truths, you will never look at your paycheck the same way again.